I am so pleased to have our old friend Brad Friedman, editor and publisher of the Brad blog. Bradblog.com is the website. On the line with us. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Tom. How are you, sir?
I am well. Welcome back.
Good.
Thanks for giving us a shout. Tell me about you have been threatened by a Republican operative?
Yes, well, just another life in the day of Bradblog.com. But in this case, Nathan Spruill from Arizona, this longtime GOP operative with a checkered past. He's run voter registration drives in state after state, election cycle after election cycle, going back at least to George W. Bush in 2004. And every single time, he and his companies are involved in these allegations of voter registration fraud, destroying, shredding Democratic registrations, changing Democratic registrations to Republicans. Well, you may remember in the 2012 election, the lead up to that election, there was this huge voter registration fraud scandal that was at the heart of the Republican Party. This company that had been secretly hired by the Republicans called Strategic Allied Consulting. Well, this was Nathan Spruill's outfit, and the Republicans, as according to Spruill, had asked him to create this company, but don't put his name on it because he had such a bad reputation. Well, there were hundreds of fraudulent voter registration forms turned in initially in Florida, in Palm Beach County. Then it spread to a bunch of other counties in Florida, then to a bunch of other states, Colorado, Nevada, Virginia, North Carolina, and so forth. And, of course, I was covering it, as I'm wont to do, at Bradblog.com. And one of the things that I found along the way and documented as we went was that, in fact, these guys had this scam for registering only Republican voters. They would set up outside of libraries or, so forth, and they would pretend to be pollsters. And they would ask people, are you voting for, if the election were held today, would you vote for Mitt Romney or Barack Obama? And if they said Mitt Romney, they'd say, great, can we help you register to vote today? If they said Barack Obama, they'd say, thank you for taking our poll, have a nice day.
Wow.
So they were, purposely suppressing the...
Is that illegal, Brad?
It depends. In different states, there are different rules for this. He has not been prosecuted for it. His companies have gotten away with it. But if you look at the actual state laws, it is anywhere from illegal to dubious to, of course, highly unethical. But Nathan Spruill is very proud of it. He thinks it's just great. And he's told me so in email. Well, as things progressed here, we've just had our fourth arrest in the state of Florida. The guy who initially turned in the fraudulent registrations that kicked this all off in Palm Beach County, he's been arrested. He's been charged with 9 counts of voter registration fraud on behalf of the Republican Party, who paid millions of dollars to this company. And in the bargain, as the Florida law enforcement has wrapped up their 2-year investigation, they confirmed my reporting about this deceptive registration technique that Spruill's companies were using. And in the bargain of that, Nathan Spruill sends me an email saying, Florida law enforcement has proven that my company was not involved in voter registration fraud, which they didn't prove any such thing. But so therefore, take down your article, or you'll hear from my attorney. Now he didn't specify which article. He didn't say which one. He said your inaccurate story or something like that. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know what was inaccurate. And in fact, Florida law enforcement has confirmed my reporting, not shown anything to be inaccurate. But this guy is doing some kind of thuggery to try to, push back at our reporting at Bradblog.com, our accurate, correct reporting. And I find it, frankly, pretty repulsive.
Yeah. It's interesting. In the at the top of the second hour of our program today, I had a debate with a conservative African-American talk show host who was making the argument that if you have to have ID to get on an airplane, you should have to have ID to vote. We have to make sure that our vote has high integrity. And now we're discovering that the same Republicans who are promoting these voter suppression ID laws are engaged in massive voter registration fraud. Is there any Democratic analogy to that? I know that there was the allegation at one point that Acorn was inappropriately registering people, although my understanding is that none of that held up. That Acorn was clean as a whistle. They just got destroyed by Fox News and Mr. O'Keefe.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's never been any fraudulent vote that was, or inappropriate vote that was, cast based on a fraudulent registration by one of the Acorn workers. I mean, in this case, you do have some similar cases in that the people who have been arrested working for this company, state after state, seem to have been working alone, seem to, in one sense, be defrauding Nathan Spruill's contractors. In fact, Spruill has told me that he thinks Acorn got a raw deal, that the Republicans were inappropriate in their attacks. But the difference was, A, Acorn wasn't hired by the Democratic Party. B, Acorn actually checked their registrations, confirmed them turning it in. When they found bad ones, they were the ones who turned them in. In this case, it was the Republican Party turning in these fraudulent registrations, and they didn't check them first. So it's a very different case. And by the way, next time you have one of those right-wingers on telling you need a photo ID to get on an airplane, right, please point them to the TSA website, where you will find, no, you do not need a photo ID to get on an airplane. That's another lie from the Republican
Party. Really? What do you need?
Well, it'll make your life easier if you have one, but as you'll see at the TSA site, they say, hey, if you don't have a photo ID, we'll still let you on a plane. We'll have to put you through some additional checks. We have databases we can check to make sure you're all right. But the commercial airlines are not about to turn away 30 million customers in this country.
Excellent point.
Because they don't have photo ID.
Brad Friedman, you are brilliant, my friend. BradBlog.com. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, brother.
Keep up the great work.